Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. I really liked the way my arm looked here, so that's why I let it linger in front of me a little bit. Today we're going to answer the question, can you burn fat and put on muscle at the same time? It sounds too good to be true, right? But the short answer is that yes, you absolutely can. The next question though is, should you? Is this something you in particular should be trying to do? So, okay, you often hear that in order to put on muscle, you need to eat in a calorie surplus, you need to bulk, you need to take in more energy than you spend. But a more accurate statement is that in order to put on muscle, your body needs to be in a state of abundance of energy. And since we have energy source, we store energy in the form of body fat, we can achieve an abundance of energy without necessarily eating, taking in more energy than we spend at the moment, and then we achieve a recomp, burning fat and building muscle at the same time. So there are two main factors that determine your ability to recomp. The first one is how much body fat do you carry. The more body fat you carry, the easier it's going to be for the body to make up missing calories from your own stores, the body fat. Second thing would be how advanced are you when it comes to lifting right now? How much muscle mass do you already have? And the less advanced you are, again, the greater your ability to recomp. So think of it like this. The big fat ass, very overweight person that hasn't really touched weight in years and hasn't really walked around much either, because honestly, if you're very heavy, you'll put on some muscle just from walking around. But that kind of person could basically just eat the protein they need, smash their workouts, and they'll just melt fat and put on muscle at the same time. On the other side of the spectrum, you have the advanced natural bodybuilder that's currently quite ripped, low on body fat. It's going to be very hard to get even more ripped and put on muscle at the same time. And that kind of individual probably has to eat in a calorie surplus and be okay with putting on at least a little bit of fat in order to be putting on more muscle. So the average person that today is skinny fat, has a little bit too little muscle and a little bit too much fat, they are in a great position to do a body recomp as well. So it makes sense that if you are in that position, you start out by not really bulking, not trying to eat more to support gains, and not really holding back necessarily either to cut weight. Just focus on high food quality, eating enough protein, smashing the workouts. And if you do that, progressively overload the workouts, very naturally, it's going to even out. You burn fat and put on muscle. You can't do this forever, though. There's going to come a point where you're noticing that I'm not really losing more weight and my lifts are kind of stalling. And then you'll have to make the decision. Do I want to start eating more, focus on my training, putting on muscle, or do I want to put my muscle gains on hold for a bit and cut a bit more fat? So the reason I'm thinking about this is that I noticed that I sort of accidentally recomped recently, and I want to talk about the fact that it is possible to do even when you're more advanced, even when you're not really fat or overweight, but it just is not something you should be trying to do. Recomping when you're a more advanced lifter is often just an expression of you like really nailing getting what you're doing right at the moment, like cutting. Your focus should always be on losing fat, but if you eat really well, you smash your workouts, you sleep well, everything on point like that, you'll probably be able to make at least a little bit of muscle gains, at least at the start of the cut, you know. And for me, I'm going to tell you my story, and then we'll round off and talk a little bit about who should and when. So I was bulking from fall into the winter to when put on muscle, but definitely don't mind putting on a bit of fat as well and get stronger on my lifts. And then at the end of the year, I do a 5-day Christmas fast where I eat 0 calories. And the point is not really weight loss, but of course, that will inevitably happen when you don't eat anything for 5 days. So it sort of becomes two, a mid-bulk mini cut like that. So I of course expect to lose a little bit of strength after that, but my goal is to go right back into bulking and putting on weight. So I weighed 90 kilos plus was my morning weight before this fast. After the fast, it evened out somewhere around like 88.5 kilos, so 1.5 to 2 kilos lost or so. And so on all my presses, I lost like a rep per set, which was expected. And so my plan was to go right into bulking, eating more again, but I was just quite stressed for different reasons, and I'm not a stress eater. I have a hard time eating when I'm stressed. And so rather than forcing myself to like eat when like almost it's like it's hard enough just to eat what I should be eating for my maintenance, you know. So I allowed myself to put on the brakes on the bulking a bit, but promise myself though that I will push it more if my training stalls. But I'll just see how my progress goes. And so I start out with my presses. I can't recall quite now, but I had like 95 kilos for 5-6 reps before this fast at the end of the year. 95 kilos, 5-6 reps on the incline bench. Lost a rep or so, but I managed to work myself up to 6 reps at 100 kilos. There's something similar with the flat bench. I just don't recall the numbers right now off the top of my head quite as accurately. And I've also moved up my numbers with the squat. And I've noticed now, because since I've not really been bulking, trying to put on weight, and my lift's been going up, I haven't really been weighing myself. But I've noticed now that I weigh myself in the morning, I'm down to like 87 kilos. So I've lost like another 1.5-2 kilos of fat, and I've managed to get stronger on very body weight dependent exercises like bench presses and squats. So and of course, being able to get if you get stronger, also it translates to having gained muscle as well. So it's kind of cool. In my case here, it's not that I tried to cut and nailed it and therefore managed to make some gains. It's more like I'll just see. I'll just see. I'm carrying still a little bit of fluff. You know, I'm not. I'm lean, but I'm not shredded. You know, we'll just see. If I keep nailing my workouts and I just eat good food, eat enough protein, I take care of my sleep and all this shit, we'll just see how it goes. And turns out I lost some weight. I didn't even maintain weight. I lost weight and got stronger on these things. But yeah, that's what I want to round off with. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But now it's starting to slow down, really. And I'm thinking about maybe I'll just take a few weeks because I have little like injuries that are almost gone. Maybe take the opportunity to. Well, it's hard for me. I just start thinking about my personal process. I like pushing it hard so much, but I'm considering trying to dial it back for a bit and then go back to bulking, because now I'm still making progress with most things. It's just that it slowed down quite a bit. So again, this is not something I tried to do. It's more an expression of me getting things really right, on point, right? And I don't think you should either. It's almost like a mental thing too, that when it's not like, oh, I'm trying to cut weight, but I'm also doing my best to smash my workouts and be on point with things, and then you sort of as a side effect, like, yeah, I actually managed to make some muscle gains. When you go into it of the mindset like, I want to get leaner, but I also want to get bigger. It's almost like it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that it can't happen, because you're like worried, like, am I eating too much? So I'm not losing weight. I need to be holding back. But maybe I need to eat more if I want to gain muscle. And it's like when you feel strongly about both directions, it's kind of like you're doomed to be stuck there in the middle. While if you choose to focus on one direction, you just do it on point. Like most of the time, if you're focusing on building muscle, it's not that you lose weight, lose fat at the same time, but maybe when you're on point, then you just don't like blow up, balloon up. Maybe you just make very, very lean gains, you know. And when you focus on cutting and nailing the training and food quality and sleep and that, yeah, you happen to be able to make a little bit of muscle gains. But you just, because I've been there. I remember a time when I tried all these different things for, you know, I haven't been training for that long. I really need to. I want to put on more mass. I also really want to get shredded. And I could get stronger just from improving my technique on lifts, but my muscle gains really stalled until I embraced the bulk again. So, for you that's already lifting, if you're already if you're like abs lean, I think never try to recomp really. Focus on either bulking, yes, because you're always, even if you're in me now too, even if I was able to make some good progress, but it would have gone faster if I ate more. That's just the case, you know. So I think really, just if you have so much or enough body fat, because you're not necessarily overweight just because you don't have abs, even though I think all guys should have abs, really. But if you can't see your abs, then you never really need to bulk. You know, you can just smash your workouts and you'll be able to melt a little bit of body fat. But if you have abs and or you are quite advanced when it comes to lifting, just don't go for the recomp. It's something I do with clients that are complete newbies, and people I train, because and now I PT in a gym a little bit again, and that's what I have. I just tell them, like, we're not trying. We will focus on smashing these workouts. I explained this with how it works with the body recomp. We're smashing these workouts. Just eat well and eat enough protein, and they lose, like, always lose fat as they get stronger. So yeah, it's absolutely something you can do, but at a certain point, it should not be something you focus, like actively do. It should be more of a side effect of you getting all things right. So, yeah, I do coach these things, of course, and you can reach out, email me or DM me on Instagram. I let you know about my different options for holistic bodybuilding, body, mind, and soul. We cut the fat and build the muscle, both literally, but also metaphorically. We build you up as a person, and we cut all the crappy parts of you away. So yeah, let me know if you're interested in that. You can become a member of the channel to support me and my content. I appreciate that a lot. And like and comment, by the way, all helps support the channel, help more people find the channel, so it's very much appreciated. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, stoicism, mental health, philosophy, spirituality, mindset. It is a mindset, guys. You absolutely can recomp. Do it if you're a skinny fat beginner, but at a point, just focus on bulking or cutting. It's more efficient. Peace.